Hello, friends. Just a short video that I'm going to put in front of a lot of our current deep dive videos that we're doing on Now is the Terminator. I just wanted to give a shout out. If people aren't aware, Thomas Tenney, who did the art on a lot of the issues of uh, Now's Terminator series and was the artist on Marvel's Force Works for the first handful of issues, is having health issues. Um, and he's also having money issues. And he created a GoFundMe. And I guess the goal is 20,000, and he's already at like 13, $14,000. But I'm going to put a link in the description down below. If you feel the need to help him out, if you've read any of his work, he's done many other things other than Terminator and Force Works. He's been the artist on a bunch of indie books. Um, but again, I just wanted to make a quick little shout out uh, to make you aware that yet another artist that we've all seen his art, we've all read the comics that he's drawn, is going through a hardship. So please look in the description for the link to his GoFundMe. If you can donate, that would be excellent. That would be awesome to help Thomas Tenney out. Thank you again, and we will continue with the deep dive. Hello, friends, and welcome to another installment of Deep Dive. I'm Mark Stanislawski. I am also Good Ideas Comics, and we're going to continue our deep dive into Now Comics 1988 series of the Terminator. It went 17 issues. We're on issue 3, and the first 2 issues have been bangers. I'm kind of surprised. To be honest with you, it's been wall to wall action. And to be honest, for a Terminator series, it should be. It should be wall to wall action. Um, if you missed last video, you can go back and watch it. But we had mentioned that there are some things that just, it's comics, but it doesn't quite make sense. It doesn't line up with what we know from the original Terminator movie, which was 1984. So I'm going into this thinking that even though there are things that are the same with the 1984 movie, it doesn't necessarily, it's not canon. Let's put it that way, to that universe. To me, this is Now Comics, um, uh, universe of 2031, which is 2 years after Kyle Reese went through followed the Terminator to 1984. So because he went in 2029. But yeah, apparently first issue cover, Mitch O'Connell, they like that so much that they're using it for their corner box art. Hey, you know what? I would use it for my corner box art as well. The first 2 issues I had were newsstand. This is a direct version. But yeah, we find that this third issue is also guest written by Tony Caputo, who is the publisher. And again, if you watched last video, he knows how to write comics. It was a banger. It was a solid issue. It was definitely written well. And I know I was surprised because I don't know. I don't know how many things I've read that Mr. Caputo has written, to be honest with you. But Thomas Tenney did the art last issue. He does it again this issue, and he actually does the art for most of the run. I think his last issue of the Terminator was 16, and I thought that name was familiar, so I did some research, and it turns out that Thomas Tenney he did a lot of work. He did a lot of work for Malibu, Eternity. He did some Robotech series for both of those publishers, and he also worked for Marvel. He did the first 4 issues of Force Works. I don't know if you remember Force Works, mid '90s series after Avengers West Coast ended. It immediately went right into Force Works, and Thomas Tenney did the first art on the first 4 issues, and he also did the 5th issue cover. So yeah, I mean the art's solid, and we pick up from last issue. This is the concluding chapter of the arc. The Terminators are coming to take out Sarah's Slammer's group and the Moon People, who have Conrad. And Conrad is a cyborg machine, that kind of gives this group not an upper hand, but kind of an even hand against the Terminators. But the thing here is this caption box. And this is their leader, Commander Leahy, a man who knows he will ultimately die because there is no winning a war against Skynet and the Terminators, only survival until the next round. I mean, John Connor had brought everyone together to win that war. So he might ultimately die. The more battles he gets into with Terminators, yes, the greater the chance he's going to die. But if he truly believes that there is no winning this war, then why is he fighting it? And he doesn't really believe what John Connor is selling. But yet he continues to fight. So yeah, it's a little weird. That caption is a little weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would fully write it that way. I'm not sure that it's actually the right thing, the correct thing to write. But anyway, we'll keep going. So the Terminators are storming the silo that Sarah Slammers are in. You got the Moon People there. They have a minefield. Terminators are blowing up, but you need more firepower. Terminators are only good as they're made, right? So if a mine doesn't blow them apart, and they're still full, the mines aren't strong enough. Again, we saw this in the first Terminator movie. You can blow apart a Terminator, but basically you have to, kind of like a zombie, you have to destroy its CPU, which is in its head. So you have to shoot it through the head because it'll just keep coming. But yeah, they're they want to get to the flesh farm. We also talked about that, and then they come up with the idea of stealing the HK, Hunter Killer, which is probably the most accurate thing that they draw based on the movie. They certainly don't draw the Terminators accurately, movie accurate, although there are varying. There are so many models. The Skynet's always constantly upgrading the Terminators. So these may not be T-800s, right? Wasn't that Arnold's model in the Terminator T-800? These might be lower. But anyway, we'll keep going. The Hunter Killer's just firing wildly. The Terminators are slowly going through the minefield. They're going to get the HK. I like the full page. I like the full page as they open up. I kind of would have. I would have liked to see like a pullback, a further, like a longer shot. To see like these people opening up on the Terminators here, and But and then there's Conrad, who is the cyborg that came down from the moon. They call him an alien android here. I mean, he's an android, but yeah, we don't really know much about him. So I guess he's an alien. Did they just give it away? But yeah, he's firing. He's taking stuff out. He took out the machine gun on the HK, and yeah, I mean, again, just action, 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 and that's how this should be. Instead of making a door, so he jumps on the hunter killer, he goes right in, rips through the thing. Um, of course, Skynet controls everything, right? So they have to they have to override Skynet. So he's working on taking over that HK. Again, these two kids, the Terminators, found Sarah's hideout because of these two kids. One of them is the younger brother of Kyle Reese. So we have a name drop, right? We know he's the brother of Kyle Reese. This is another child soldier that was with him in Johnny O's squadron. We got some more. We do get a recap of the movie, right? Because 3 years ago, and here we go about having a Nader go back in time to kill John Connor's mother. They figure by killing off John Connor's existence, that would wipe out the rebel force he began. Your brother was the assigned soldier to go back with him when the 132nd raided the place. 132nd, they blew it. As we know from the movie, they blew up the time displacement equipment, and they all died in that massive explosion. They basically sacrificed themselves to make sure that no more Terminators could go back. They couldn't try it again. The whole 9 yards. There's the HK has been taken over. So now they're all in the HK. The computer is still fighting them, but they fly away, and he literally, so that missile, that silo, the missile that was in the silo that they stayed in, everyone thought that it was a dead missile, that it wasn't a live missile, that it was nothing. Turns out it was not a dead missile, it was a live missile, and that was his failsafe. So he basically detonates the missile in the silo, completely blowing up everything. The Terminators, everything. I mean, that's. I'm not sure they're far enough away for that. If it is a nuke, does it say it's a nuke? I don't know. It's a warhead. I don't know. We'll. It probably was a nuclear warhead, but anyway. Uh, we keep going on. They're trying to go to the flesh farm now, and again, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this issue. So what they do now is that they send a malfunction code to Skynet. So as far as they know, the ship's coming in for repairs. So now they can control the ship to go to the flesh farm and raid the farm and the garage that they're going to fly into. And of course, by the time they get there, Skynet knows humans are there. And these are, as we explained before, there were different models, and these are better models that. So now Terminators are coming out of the woodwork. Oh, wait, yeah. Enforcers. Then they send the better models, right? So they destroy a few of the Terminators they meant that came in. Then they send the better models, which I guess they call enforcers. I mean, they look better, right? They look like they're better models. Nice. It's a nice design. Kind of the same, maybe a little bit more armored. And they're like, how do we get out of here? And they ask Reese, when you guys were here before, how the hell did you get out? And they were just like, no, there was no exit. We just kept shooting the wall until we blew a hole in the wall and went that way. And they're like, oh, okay, this isn't good. Again, more action. And here comes Conrad. Um, and then we finally get our first casualty. Uh, and the little girl who's with Johnny O's squad and Kyle Reese's brother, she gets hit and she's gone. And then these two guys get hit and they're gone. And she almost dies too, but she's going to be one of the main characters, obviously. You can see that. So yeah, you can see a lot of people get offed. So now they run away. They again, it's a dead end, but they have Conrad, who is like the super strong synthetic. And again, like I said, it helps. It helps, the human soldiers be a little bit more even, and it helps them get out of places. I mean, this could have been the end of the story right here. Without Conrad, they're stuck right here, and they're probably all going to die right then and there. Um, but they open it up, and there's a bakery here, and then this is the guy from the first issue that they sent to the flesh farm, and he's here in Terminator Land, getting bread, but he's acting kind of funny. So, and here's the baker, which is a Terminator. This is all part of the flesh farm. It's a little bit different, um, but that's okay. You can make the argument that it's kind of the same. They should be outside now, even though supposedly this is still inside. I don't know if they went into a courtyard. It said it's a bakery. So is it an inside bakery? I don't know. At any rate, they destroy the Terminator Baker. This guy's not paying any attention. Redfoot twists his head, breaks his neck. They shoot up Redfoot or Reedfoot, right? It's not Redfoot, it's Reedfoot. Reedfoot. And it turns out that there's a human brain. We're gonna assume that it's Reedfoot's human brain inside of a Terminator exoskeleton synthetic flesh machine. So even though they don't say that. We're just going to assume that, and unless something else. So Reedfoot obviously is dead. His brain was put inside a machine, um, but they're able to get in a truck, take off. More explosions, more. I mean, hey, it's kind of vague, but definitely could use more captions. But they escape. And here's the epilogue, and then here is now they're talking about the moon people. Now these moon people came down because they need supplies. They get plankton from the ocean and all this other stuff. Now they never returned to the moon with their supply of plankton and other essential things that they needed. But yet, when they ask her, Rossetti, when's the next ship coming for plankton? She says a year because they come every year. But their ship never made it back to the moon. So why would they wait another year to send another ship down? They're already at their year. They need the stuff. Wouldn't you think that they would send another ship like within the month? Why would they wait another year if they were low on stuff? So that doesn't make any sense. But the reason why um, they bring this up is part of the epilogue. The end of the epilogue is that you know she's already been through a lot, right? In the two issues that she's been here, um, you know, she's seen a lot of action, and she's like, Doyle, how do you handle this pressure year after year? You know, realistically, what hope do we have to be alive in a year? And he's like, well, or she's like, I don't know, I've been fighting since I was born. I'm still alive. You have to have hope and hope that one day that John Connor will put us on top. And so she leaves. You hear a gunshot, and she killed herself. So she has no hope, no faith that she's going to be alive in a year. And again, I think the only moon people left now is Conrad. So they came down. They were soldiers. They were bodies that fought. One was a computer expert, so that helped him out a little bit. But they all died. Conrad is the only one that's going to be hanging around. And again, he is right. He's the one that gives them an even shot at survival. At taking on the Terminators. But yeah, we still have Kyle Reese's younger brother. Who knows if he's going to survive, because they could kill him off too. And this is, that's the end right here. It's a nice ending. I like the shadows, the end and the shadows of the people staring down at Rossetti's dead body after she killed herself. Very nice. I mean, again, it's a solid issue. A lot of action packed. Enjoyed it. Again, forget the little things that I point out. That's just me examining the issue, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're doing, the deep dive. But the issues, all three issues, and Tony Caputo, again, he's a solid writer. Thomas Tenney, solid artwork, and that's going to do it. It's a good series, and again, you can pick these up. You can pick these up cheap. The Terminator books you can pick up cheap. I would recommend it for sure. And we're going to end the video right here. Come back next time. We're going to do Terminator #4. It's the beginning of a new arc. And we're going to find out what happens to all these people. And we're going to keep going on until we hit that last issue. And then we'll do an overhaul. We'll look at the series as a whole to see how that held up. And we'll talk about it. And I invite you to comment, like, subscribe, especially comment, not only to help with the algorithm, but if you've read this series, let me know your thoughts. What did you think about it? What did you think of the weird things that happen in here, the inconsistencies? Did you think that it was based on the Terminator movie, the 1984 movie, or do you think it was just kind of a new universe based on stuff that happened in the Terminator movie? I mean, obviously that whole portion was the same, but this could be a little bit different, especially, like I said, those moon people. But anyway, we're going to end it here. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you in the funny pages.